The story of the Lamborghini Miura begins in the mid-1960s, a time when the world of performance cars was changing fast. Automakers were chasing speed, style, and prestige, but very few cars managed to combine all three in a way that truly shocked the industry. When this Italian masterpiece arrived in 1966, it did more than just turn heads. It completely redefined what a high-performance sports car could be. Even today, decades later, the Miura is still widely considered the world's first true supercar, a machine that blended revolutionary engineering with breathtaking design. The moment you see the Miura, its presence is impossible to ignore. The exterior design looks dramatic even by modern standards, which says a lot considering it was created nearly 60 years ago. The car sits extremely low to the ground with a wide stance that immediately signals performance. Its sleek shape flows from front to rear in a smooth, uninterrupted line, giving the Miura a sense of motion even when it's parked. This low profile wasn't just for style, it helped improve aerodynamics and stability at high speeds. At the front, the Miura features a distinctive nose that slopes downward sharply, creating a very aggressive appearance. The headlights are one of its most iconic features. Each headlight is surrounded by delicate, eyelash style trim that gives the car a unique personality. These lashes were not just decorative, they became one of the defining visual signatures of the Miura and are still remembered by enthusiasts today. Moving along the sides of the car, you'll notice the long, flowing curves that stretch across the body. The proportions are perfectly balanced, with a long rear deck that hints at the powerful engine sitting behind the driver. Large side air intakes feed air directly into the engine compartment, helping keep the powerful V12 cool during high-performance driving. The door lines and sculpted body panels show the craftsmanship that Italian designers were famous for during that era. The rear of the Miura is equally striking. Instead of a traditional trunk area, the rear section is dominated by vents and slats that allow heat to escape from the engine bay. The tail lights are simple yet elegant, while the wide rear stance emphasizes the car's performance capability. When viewed from behind, the Miura looks planted and powerful, ready to launch forward at any moment. The Miura's body was designed by the legendary Italian design house Bertone, with the young designer Marcello Gandini leading the project. Gandini created a shape that was futuristic for its time. Unlike many sports cars of the 1960s, which still carried somewhat bulky proportions, the Miura was smooth, compact, and aerodynamic. The result was a design that looked like it belonged decades ahead of its time. Underneath this stunning exterior was a revolutionary layout. The Miura placed its engine in the middle of the car, directly behind the seats but ahead of the rear axle. This mid-engine configuration dramatically improved balance and handling. Today, nearly every supercar uses this layout, but in the 1960s it was extremely rare for a road-going vehicle. Opening the door of the Miura reveals an interior that feels both sporty and luxurious. Unlike modern cars filled with digital screens and complex technology, the Miura's cabin is focused entirely on driving. Everything inside the car is designed around the driver, creating a cockpit-like atmosphere that emphasizes performance and control. The seats are wrapped in high-quality leather and designed to hold the driver and passenger securely during spirited driving. Despite the Miura's focus on speed, the interior still provides a level of comfort that reflects Italian craftsmanship. The seating position is low, placing the driver close to the road and enhancing the sense of connection with the car. In front of the driver sits a beautifully arranged dashboard filled with analog gauges. Large circular dials display essential information such as speed, engine revolutions, oil pressure, and fuel level. The layout is simple but effective, allowing the driver to quickly read the instruments while focusing on the road ahead. The steering wheel is thin yet elegant, often finished with polished metal spokes and a wooden rim. This design gives the driver a tactile connection to the car, something that modern steering wheels sometimes lack due to electronic assistance systems. Holding the Miura's steering wheel feels like gripping a piece of automotive history. Another interesting feature of the interior is the switchgear. Instead of placing the switches randomly across the dashboard, Lamborghini arranged them in a unique overhead console. This unusual placement added a sense of drama to the cabin and made the Miura feel even more special. Behind the driver and passenger sits the heart of the Miura, a powerful V12 engine that defined the car's legendary performance. This engine was developed by Giotto Bizzarini, who had previously worked on high-performance engines for racing cars. His experience helped create an engine that was both powerful and reliable. The Miura's engine is a 3.9-liter naturally aspirated V12, an engineering masterpiece for its time. It produces around 350 horsepower in the early versions, which may not sound extraordinary by modern standards, but in the 1960s this level of power was incredible. Combined with the car's relatively lightweight construction, the engine gave the Miura breathtaking performance. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a 5-speed manual transmission. This setup allows drivers to fully control the car's power and acceleration. The sound of the V12 engine as it climbs through the rev range is one of the Miura's most unforgettable characteristics. It produces a deep, mechanical roar that echoes the spirit of Italian performance engineering. The placement of the engine behind the seats also contributes to the car's unique driving feel. With most of the weight located near the center of the vehicle, the Miura offers exceptional balance when cornering. This layout allows the car to change direction quickly and remain stable at high speeds. Acceleration in the Miura is impressive even today. The car can reach 0 to 60 miles per hour in roughly 6 seconds, which was extremely quick during the 1960s. Its top speed approaches 170 miles per hour, placing it among the fastest production cars of its era. Driving the Miura is a completely different experience compared to modern sports cars. There are no electronic stability systems, no traction control, and no computer-assisted driving modes. Everything depends on the skill of the driver. This raw and mechanical driving experience is part of what makes the Miura so special. When you press the accelerator, the V12 engine responds instantly, delivering smooth but powerful acceleration. The sound from the engine grows louder and more aggressive as the revs climb, creating an emotional connection between driver and machine. The steering is direct and precise, allowing the driver to feel every movement of the road. Because there is very little electronic assistance, the feedback through the steering wheel is incredibly pure. Enthusiasts often describe the Miura as one of the most engaging classic sports cars ever built. Cornering in the Miura requires confidence and respect for the car's power. With its mid-engine layout and powerful V12, the car can feel extremely agile when driven properly. The suspension setup keeps the car planted during fast turns, while the wide stance provides stability. However, the Miura also demands attention from the driver. Unlike modern cars that correct mistakes electronically, the Miura expects the driver to remain focused and in control at all times. This challenge is part of the reason why driving the Miura is such a memorable experience. Another fascinating aspect of the Miura's driving character is its sound. The V12 engine produces a unique mechanical symphony. At low speeds it hums smoothly, but as the engine revs increase, the sound transforms into a thrilling roar that fills the cabin. For many enthusiasts, this sound alone makes the Miura unforgettable. The Miura's influence on the automotive world cannot be overstated. Before its arrival, most high-performance cars used a front-engine layout. By introducing a mid-engine design to a production road car, Lamborghini set a new standard that many manufacturers would later follow. This revolutionary concept came from the vision of Ferruccio Lamborghini, who wanted to create a car that could challenge the dominance of Ferrari. The Miura succeeded in doing exactly that. It captured the attention of the automotive world and proved that Lamborghini could compete with the best sports car manufacturers. Over the years, several versions of the Miura were produced, including the Miura P400, Miura P400S, and Miura P400SV. Each version introduced improvements in performance, comfort, and reliability. The later SV model became the most refined and powerful version of the Miura lineup. Production of the Miura continued until 1973, with only around 760 units built in total. This relatively small production number has made the Miura extremely rare and valuable today. Many collectors consider it one of the most important classic cars ever produced. In modern times, the Miura is celebrated not only for its performance but also for its design and historical significance. Automotive historians often describe it as a turning point in the evolution of high-performance road cars. Without the Miura, the modern supercar industry might look very different. Car collectors around the world actively seek well-preserved examples of the Miura. At prestigious car auctions, these vehicles often sell for millions of dollars. Their value reflects not only rarity but also the immense cultural impact the Miura had on automotive design and engineering. The Miura also became a symbol of luxury and success during the late 1960s and early 1970s. Celebrities, business leaders, and racing enthusiasts were drawn to its dramatic style and incredible speed. Owning a Miura meant owning one of the most exciting cars ever built. Even today, the design language introduced by the Miura can be seen in many modern supercars. The low stance, wide body, mid-engine layout, and dramatic styling cues have become defining characteristics of high-performance vehicles. The Miura is more than just a classic car. It represents a moment in automotive history when creativity, engineering, and passion came together to create something truly extraordinary. Every detail of the car reflects the bold vision of its creators. From its revolutionary mid-engine layout to its stunning Italian design and powerful V12 engine, the Miura set a standard that few cars have managed to match. It was a car that challenged conventions and pushed the boundaries of what a road-going sports car could achieve. Looking back today, it is clear that the Miura changed the automotive world forever. It introduced the concept of the supercar and inspired generations of designers and engineers to pursue even greater levels of performance and innovation. Few vehicles have managed to combine beauty, power, and historical importance in the way the Miura did. Its legacy continues to live on in the world of modern supercars, and its influence can still be felt in every high-performance machine that follows the mid-engine formula. The Lamborghini Miura remains one of the most admired classic cars ever built. Its design still looks breathtaking decades after its introduction, its engine still produces an unforgettable sound, and its driving experience still captures the imagination of enthusiasts around the world. For many car lovers, the Miura represents the perfect balance between art and engineering. It is not just a machine designed for transportation. It is a masterpiece of automotive design that continues to inspire passion and admiration across generations. The final verdict on the Miura is simple. It is one of the most influential sports cars in history, a vehicle that defined the concept of the supercar and established Lamborghini as a serious competitor in the world of high-performance automobiles. Its timeless design, powerful V12 engine, and unforgettable driving experience ensure that the Miura will always hold a special place in automotive history. Car.